Hello and welcome to my channel. I am a Reiki Master Teacher. I am a shamaness, medicine woman. I am a seer. I am a profound claircognizant, a profound clairvoyant, visionary, telepathic, a profound clairsentient. Okay, I was born with these gifts, and today we're going to talk about energy clearing and calling back your power back to you, as well as focusing on cutting away tethers and projections, nasty negative energy from people who come against you in your life and try to block you. So right now the collective, the seers, the psychics, the healers, a lot of us are getting attacked by others, whether they come up against you in groups or they come up against you individually. A lot of this is going on because they want to mask your potential and make you fold and curl up in a ball and, mask your power, not speak your truth, not shine your light. They want to block you from progressing. Your enemies will come up in groups against you. They will turn other people against you. This is how the enemies work. And what they do is they use power of the tongue spells to manipulate. They're master manipulators. So it's like that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of polarity, to where like they will lead a double life, wear a facade, and then the whole time they will project onto you what is within them, and they'll make you look like something you're completely not. They'll villainize you, they'll victimize you. And I could just share like a personal story. Like, I lived in my car in a plaza because I was getting attacked by different dark witches. I was getting attacked by a Satan witch. I was getting attacked by a druid witch who was really a Satan witch. I was getting attacked by just different Christian witches and people who were just greatly like inhumanely jealous of me, to the point where either they didn't like me because I embodied, the truth of what, they tried to deny, or they didn't like me because I was speaking the truth about what happened, and they didn't want the truth coming out because they lived their life in like behind a mask, or I was just the embodiment of everything that they weren't. And to the point where they came up against me and they really just tried to do their best to, work together behind the scenes and ruin my life. And they thought that they could just come up and take away everything that they thought that I loved. And then when they see that I still wasn't destroyed, they they were fucking mad about it. They're so mad about it. And then so now some of them are trying to recast, some of them are trying to move on with their lives. But let me see, 3 groups are still trying to recast, and like 3 other groups, one bitch is in prison, another group, she went to prison. Then another group is away from me, but I feel it specifically from like 2 groups, or actually 3, I would say, right now. And you hear like the walls and the ceilings crack here. You hear that. So like this is just, and how do you know people are, conspiring against you and plotting against you and trying to produce problems for your life and trying to block you from your success and your goddess divine or your god birthright? Is little things. Like for instance, I picked my phone up earlier. I had my necklace hanging like wrapped, one of these wrapped around my hand and my finger. Well, I went to go and grab my phone, okay, and somehow the cross got caught on this box that my phone is sitting on. It made my Reiki wand fall, and then it almost made my phone fall forward. So like little things like that, like out of the ordinary, that just usually doesn't happen. Usually things flow for you, you know what I mean? But if you notice like you start dropping things a lot, like clumsiness, that's really not your energy. And I highly recommend you protect yourself, which there's only so much you can do. You can shield, you can ground, you can meditate, but all of this is not enough. Meditation is not enough. There will be some practitioners, because everyone has their own spiritual beliefs, and they'll be like, okay, like you need to do this, this, and this. But this is very real, the evil eye. And it can manifest as attacks when given to you in different ways, whether it's in health ailments, bad dreams, mental health problems, The evil eye can produce such bad things to the point where you have to remember to go to a practitioner to clear you, okay? Because if you start getting clumsy out of nowhere, or if things start blowing up in your face instead of flowing like they usually do, chances are somebody's, you know, they've given you the evil eye, or they've done fully like a full black magic ritual against you, or a spell against you. And like I was saying in my other videos, everything is energy, whether it's spell work, whether it's a thought, a prayer, okay, writing something down, power of the tongue, saying things out loud, you know what I mean? Even thoughts in your mind. And if you have bad thoughts a lot, or you say things out loud, remember what you project outward, it will come back to you times 3. This is the law. And of course you're just like, oh, should I do it like this? Should I? Yeah, you have to rethink it, because sometimes you could be doing all this spell work against somebody and your life will be flowing for a while. But then that day that karma fucking hits, and karma don't miss an address, trust. That day it hits, and then it's just like a domino effect to where, like, first it's your health, then it's your love life, then it's your career, then it's your money, your business, and your relationship, to the point where, like, you really need to be conscious, okay, are you doing something? Are you subconsciously blocking yourself? Did you do something to propel that karma and that bad dharma to go back to you like that? So that's why you must always, you have to live life and be intentional. You have to live life and be aware of your intentions. You have to be very aware and selective of your thoughts, where your energy is going, who you're putting your energy with and in. Who are you spending time with? Is this person an optimistic person? Are they bad energy people? Do they have wicked spirits and intentions? You know, you have to really be aware. And if you're not aware, this karma later can creep up on you later in life. Like, you know, when you're younger, you're learning. Things usually flow in your, you know, teens, 20s. But then when you get to 30, it's like shit gets real. And, you know, 40, shit gets really real, to the point where, like, sometimes you could do all this bad shit when you're young. You could just keep screwing people over. You could keep using people, keep manipulating people. And then boom, one day, I'm telling you, that energy that you're putting out to other people to use and abuse your own power, it's going to eventually find its way back. This is why I say you must be careful. Because if you're not careful, all of this shit, and you guys, this fucking dude is doing... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep cutting cords, and this is going to be kind of like an aggressive cord cutting, because magic, okay, some of us from the collective, shirt is not, it needed to be like lower cut, you guys, because, like, literally I like wearing my shit like this. I like wearing it low cut, to the point where this shirt is just not giving. It's not giving, and I might change into my tank top or my bikini in a second, because I'm getting really fucking annoyed. But literally, and this dude, he's my neighbor, he's doing some fucking renovation over there. And he is just being a fucking annoying asshole, honestly. Yes, I'm a very cutthroat healer. Not all of us are all soft and love and light. That is just a facade. That was like the new age spirituality, to the point where, like, I'm more than a love and light bitch. I'm a very truth teller, like, okay, come to me correct and respect me, or else you're gonna get fucking put in your place. To the point where I will fucking call your bullshit out. I will call it out, and I really don't like having to do that. But if you're gonna come to me incorrect, then I'm gonna have to do it. You know, I'm gonna let you know. So you guys, tell me what you think of this outfit. Do you think it's pretty or what? To the point where I'm thinking of going and for a walk in the sunshine, and then just, I don't know. All I know is that I'm super fucking annoyed right now, because I went to a plaza last night, and first of all, I didn't even know why. I just kept being pulled, like, all week back to this plaza. And I was like, this is how I know someone's doing magic on me. And it's specifically, and I've talked about this woman in my past videos, it's my ex's soon-to-be ex-wife, or ex-wife, whatever the fuck. She's a dark karmic witch, okay? She stole my twin flame years ago, and I've fucking been talking about this, because, like, for years, I spent years in pain and penting it up and just not talking about it. But after I called my power back to me and I choose to speak up again, I start talking about this, because it's very real. So this woman, she's been attacking me through the realms, like through the dream states. She was if you go to my last video before this one, I tell you and I carefully explain to you with what she's been doing. So she binded my twin flame to her. She did lots of lust, attraction, and love spells on him. She did a time capsule spell. She tried to destiny swap mine and her destiny, to where she tried to play everyone and say that she was a divine feminine. She's not divine shit. She's literally a dark karmic witch. And then on her social media that nobody looks at, that I found, because I'm very investigative, like I can find anything like this. And she also goes by the name of Natalia Teznak. It's a joke because it's like a ripoff of her actual name. But she was doing time capsule spells, destiny reverse spells, destiny swap spells. She was doing love spells. She got like my twin flame to marry her, and this woman is not remotely attractive at all. In her face or in her body or in her spirit. She is just so mentally ill to the point where she's very delusional, and she's just very secretive, and she has a lot of pent up rage and issues because her mom was a drug addict and she like kept going on drugs, and then her dad remarried somebody, and then she took all of that childhood trauma and put it on my adult family, to where like she felt satisfied after she stole my twin flame, after she caught us on a vulnerable moment of when we were in a runner chaser phase, and we were in a it was just like a tiff. It was just like every other runner chaser like tiff, to the point where like his mother, another dark karmic, she's a Christian witch. She called herself a prophetess, but she's not a prophetess of shit. She's a prophetess of bullshit, basically. I've seen his mother literally go into a church, use men, cheat on her husbands, and basically use men to fund her lifestyle, to the point where she will pretend to be a prophetess and she will write a book, unlike the diva prophetess, and then she'll like have the man that she marries fund her lifestyle, her makeup, her clothes, her money. She'll keep these like little in the hole jobs. Like she'll go to a job like 2, maybe 3 times a week, like a part-time job. And then she'll be like, oh, I work. And then like she was literally parked in front of my duplex in Daytona Beach, just giving me the evil eye because I was pregnant with her son's baby. And she tried to kill my baby, to the point where she used a witchcraft balm, okay, and to where my baby's eyes, at the point, like she would look at you and then one would shift out, and that would happen until she was like, I don't know how old she was, until it stopped. Now she's got, her eyes are normal and they don't shift out like that. I don't know if it was 5 or 6, but this balm did something to my daughter, but my daughter was also very strong like me, so she came out of all of those attacks. To the point where like, yeah, he's from a family of witches, to where like his sister took me into the car when we were driving up to Georgia for the funeral, for his dad's funeral, and she was like, his mother and his sister came up against us, and they had my daughters and him ride with his mother and one of his stepfathers, because she's on her 5th husband. Like his mother is so delusional and mentally ill, to where like she thought that she was fucking Marilyn Monroe in this lifetime, you guys. You cannot be Marilyn Monroe in the same lifetime. Her soul exists at the same time. Like, this makes no sense. She's very delusional. And then she thought Shaquille O'Neal was following her. She said that he came up to like Daytona Beach and was following her around, and she was like, it's Shaquille O'Neal, and she really believed these things, to where she's very delusional. And then, those delusions were giving her really negative thoughts about me, and that was her own mental health. So she was trying to project or mirror it onto me. And her son, who was my twin flame, he's a little bit weak-minded, because she literally took this man, and instead of raising him the right way, she put all her shit on him, to the point where like he like has to emotionally fix her. Like, he's her emotional husband. But she marries these men to fund her lifestyle and to be sexually active with. But she uses my twin flame for, her own emotional support system, to the point where like he can't be no one's husband, you guys. Even though he's married to that dark karmic witch, or they're getting a divorce, or whatever that situation is, literally that was never his wife. Like, his mother acts like his wingman, and also like his emotional wife. Like, I would wake up to text messages of his own mom saying, good morning, handsome, kiss emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji. And I'm like, ew, like, is this your mom, or like, is this like your emotional wife? And then they would like sit on the couch, you guys, and their bare knees would be touching. Like, if that was me and my brother, we'd be like, ew, okay, oh, sorry. Like, but it was just a little too close to comfort, you know what I mean? And it was just like, ew. Like, I sometimes wonder if she like did something to him. Sometimes I really do. And I wonder why. Like, maybe he suppressed this, like he doesn't remember. And so like he like has to be like her emotional rescuer, and he's like her punching bag, to the point where like he's only emotionally like secured to her, even though he was married to the dark karmic witch for 8 years, which their marriage is ending now. um that was never his like wife. Like literally it was just somebody that he needed to depend on for security, like an apartment and a car. Like right now he's loafing off of her car. Like something happened to his car, he said. I don't even know. But like before, when he was with me, like he was providing, he was being in his masculine energy, to the point where he was the one, like he, would take care of us in a hotel. But sometimes my business, I would help too. I had a business as well. But there was dark karmic witches, and he was very weak-minded, to where he got overtaken by the dark karmics, and he wasn't strong enough to defeat their manipulation and their magic. And he ended up being overtaken by their manipulation and their magic and their spells and just all their ploys, to the point where like I don't even call him my divine masculine anymore, because like honestly, a divine masculine, I don't feel in my heart that he would a divine masculine would not leave his kids and abandon his children for like 7.5 years, or the mother of his children. A divine masculine would respect that, divine feminine. He would rever her, and he wouldn't have betrayed, you know what I'm saying? To where like I could sit here all day and just blame fucking, his mom and his wife. But also at the end of the day, I really look at it and I'm just like, he also had a choice as well. And he chose, what he chose. Like he chose to betray me. He chose to rever some hussy who didn't even have kids, who can't even have kids, just to give him an apartment and a car, to the point where that's like so disdainful and so disrespectful, and it's fucking humiliating, not just on me but on both of us, to the point where like, and he will sit there and be in denial like his mom, like he is just like his mother, to the point where like, and I'm gonna do some card pulls on the collective, to where he will literally just be like, see, it's like they're producing fights. So like dark karmics will do black magic to have you and your divine masculine fight each other, or stay at odds with each other, or come against each other and disagree. So you'll go like this. And this is the collective energy. So like spiritual attacks. I'm talking about spiritual attacks, right? See, look at the bottom of the deck. It was secrecy. So like they will be very, I cannot lie about this. They will be very secretive in their attacks, like people who come up against you, and they will manipulate other people against you, or they'll manipulate that one person that they know that you're supposed to love and trust and give you that love, trust, and comfort against you, and they'll make you guys fight. And they'll do this undercover. Like they will do this shit so negative energy manipulative, to the point where like they'll have you thinking that they're the good guy but they're the wicked ones, and they'll have the innocent one looking like the bad guy and a villain. And this is confirmation. So I've been getting confirmation like all fucking day, you guys. And this is for the spiritual collective. You don't have to be a twin flame, but like a lot of us spiritually adept, spiritually open, awakened individuals, like we are coming even more now. We're getting called more into our power to live our truth, to live out our gifts, to the point where a lot of attacks are going to come up against us again, because these beings of darkness, or just even your own enemies who are just jealous of you, and not necessarily light or dark, they don't want you to shine your light. They don't want to see you have good things. They don't want you to shine, because if you shine, what are they going to have to take away from you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just going to outshine all their fucking lies, to where they really are going to be revealed as bullshit artists as they are, to where they don't want you to live in a state of like freedom, happiness, ecstasy in your endeavors. They don't want you to be successful. This is what fucking haters do. So they block, and then they try to make you fucking look stupid. You know what I mean? Okay, so it's just a bunch of BS. Hold on, you guys, because I have to do something really quick. Yeah, like this woman, she was trying to do lots of like destiny swap manipulation, but she was trying to do like the what is it called? I'm gonna just do some more cord cuttings. She was trying to do a lot of, not just destiny swap, but like not time capsule manipulation, to where like she was just trying to project onto me, and then she was doing magic on my twin flame to the point where like, okay, I'll be honest with you. A long time ago, I tried to warn her. I was like, you know, my ex is very narcissistic. He's just gonna use you for your place in your car. Like, I already know what he's gonna do. Like, you know, his mama taught him well. Like, and she was just like, don't contact me again. I'm gonna call the authorities. And I'm like, who is you? You weren't fucking here for the past like 7.5, I don't know how many fucking years, 6-7 years, in his life. You didn't have his kids. So how are you gonna sit here and try to steal him? You know, she really like stole him. And then what she did was she's living in her shadow self, to where she's fulfilling that void of her dad leaving her mom and getting married to Graceland, because he's married to someone named Graceland. And you know, she did that shit in her adult life to my family, to the point where like we didn't deserve this, because it was like that was her childhood wound, and she ruined it because of her own selfish, you know, she couldn't get therapy. Like, she really needs therapy. And I just had like my twin flame and my daughters tell me like she's so rageful and she needs so much fucking therapy, but she's just so up, to the point where like she's just like, she's really flawed like his mother. And like, and it says in psychology, like, men will subconsciously choose traits in their wives or their girlfriends that their mothers have. They don't have to look alike, but it's a lot of traits, just like with daughters and their fathers, okay? And it's like, it's just like the way that I look at them, I feel like, you know. And I had like one of my someone who I watch and follow on YouTube or TikTok. He actually, not YouTube, TikTok. His name's Jordan. He just hit the nail on the head, because he was confirming this too with his psychic gifts, and he was just like, you're gonna, you know, when the attacks are gonna come in threes, to the point where that's three right there. So that's like my ex twin flame, who's my false twin flame, because he's not a real divine masculine. His fucking soon to be ex-wife, his wife, whatever the fuck they are, and then his mother. Okay. So it's like, boom, there's the threes. And that was just confirmation. To the point where like this woman in my last video, my camera cut off, you guys, I'm sorry. And literally this woman tried so fucking hard to do black magic on every aspect of my life, because, okay, we broke up in 2017 December. Okay, something had happened, something very profound. I don't want to get into it. I was making these Disney pancakes, which was weird, with like Mickey. They were like Mickey and Minnie Mouse pancakes for my daughters and my first son. And then all of a sudden, like, we get separated. Boom, this big blowout. Okay, his mom was doing this for years. She was using all types of thought form magic. She was using oils to hex us. She's a Christian witch. She knows spiritualists. She knows Haitians and Jamaicans and people who do voodoo and, you know, African hoodoo and all of this stuff and do root work, to where she took a balm, you know, and she told me to put it on my head and his head. And this is when all of this shit started, because a long time ago, me and him, we never fought. After that balm, he started being really toxic with me and abusive. And I know that that was witchcraft. And then like I would drive and go grocery shopping, and she would be in his head saying I was going to see a man, and I was going to get grocery shopping. I was going to get groceries, and all of these lies that she would tell him, he would accuse me of. Like, oh, I know you went to go see a man. And now looking back at it, it's like, okay, I'm not your mom. Like, I'm actually faithful, loyal, and true. He's like, no, you're so beautiful. And I'm like, dude, Carly, I was at Walmart Supercenter, and he was like with the baby and with my first son, and he would accuse me of shit that like he saw his mom doing growing up, and that was not my fault. And it was just really toxic, to the point where he was my false divine masculine, you know. And he just really like tried me, to the point where it was just like, dude, just because your mom does that doesn't mean all females do that. You know what I mean? And because he would see his mom have an affair. Like, I had a vision, and he even confirmed this to me, to where like his mom was in this like red satin or silk like robe, like one of those short robes. It's like a long sleeve robe with a tie. It's like an old school robe, and it comes down like just like right here above the knee, like my skirt. Maybe it was probably even shorter than my skirt. It was probably like up here. I don't even know. And he saw like another man like leave her room, and she was in a robe, to the point where like his father was at work. So she was like, a compulsive, you know, infidelity artist, like to the point where like she would have those affairs on his dad, like his birth dad. You know, and so like when I was telling you guys about his sister, his half sister, when his birth dad passed away, that was the only one in his family who wanted us to work out, who was rooting for us, and nobody else did. Like everyone else just wanted us to break up because they were like jealous of me, or they're jealous of the way he loved me, or they just didn't want me having it because they didn't like me, because of whatever fucking their personal reasons were to not like me. You know what I mean? And so like he was the only one who wanted us to work, to the point where like he was like, yeah, I hope you guys file taxes every year, save that money, get a house, get your cars. But then his mother was in his ear and he was manipulative, and I saw this shit play out like the back of my hand, to the point where like after Grandpa Mac passed away, okay, and we were riding up there. First of all, his mother and his sister divided our family really bad. They did witchcraft. And I'll tell you how they did this shit. So his mother was very toxic. She's very manipulative. She's very delusional. She's got a lot of mental health problems. And she don't take care of them in therapy. She literally sweeps them under the rug and then she hides behind the crucifix. You know, she's one of those. To the point where like she's manipulative. She's shrewd. You know, she knows how to play the fucking game. She knows how to get what she wants and be manipulative. And she does this shit with her tongue. So she'll manipulate and she'll like twist fucking lies to the truth. She's a thought pusher. She's a word pusher. She'll twist the fucking she'll twist someone's whole goddamn life and make them look like so bad. But yet it's her like doing it. Like she literally tries to play God. She's just very wicked hearted. She's just like, she has a fucking gray ass heart. Like it's just nothing. She's of nothingness, to the point where like I saw like how she played her games. Like one time we were in my apartment in Castlewood and Castleberry, and I just remember this woman, and this was when I was naive. I was like 26, 27. I was young, okay? I was literally in my my maiden phase. I was not in the mother phase or the crone phase yet. Like right now my soul is of old. So like I'm in my soul crone phase. But this is way back when I was naive, and I was just like, you know, she saw how beautiful, you know, and she was jealous, and she knew I was pregnant with you know, the grandbaby. So and then she used, you know, me having a son against him and made me look like I was just like low class. Like, oh well, she has a baby dad, she was never married, she's a single mom. And you know how those people who sit on their fucking high horses, like entitled people, and she was very entitled, like she was fucking adopted, you know, her own mother didn't take care of her, her grandmother took care of her, and then she was adopted. So those caregivers growing up, they spoiled her, they put shit in her head to where she was entitled, she'd get away with her manipulation, and she started like playing the game like at a very young age. She was a liar, okay? And so like what happened was that she just carefully took, you know, this man, her son, from me, and I would be passing by to go grocery shopping, and she would be sitting in her car just going like this, grilling me with the evil eye. And this was when I was young. And then like one time we were in my apartment before we moved to Daytona, before this happened. We were in Castleberry because, you know, we live in Florida. And I just remember like her texting me in my apartment. And I could tell you this, like I have kept this in for years. Like I have not even told my old therapist this, but like, because I had a couple of talk therapists before. My last one was a humanistic therapist. And that one was just kind of and then before that I had a hypnotherapist who was a cognitive behavioral therapist, but that didn't really work for me at all, to the point where like I got preyed on and targeted. Like he put GHB in my fucking drink. He put the date rape drug in my drink, and I went back to my apartment and I had to like sit by the sun, like at the window in the sun. It was bad. So where like, yeah, I got really taken advantage of because people see my beauty, and he was trying to take advantage of me. And I remember like going into that office and seeing pillows on the floor. It was really weird, of a therapist office, to where like his name was Dr. James REIKI, and he was in Castleberry. He was right next to my old apartment. And he literally like tried to have sex with me, and I like ran the fuck out of there. I drove back, and then I talked to my friend on the phone, and I remember like I was drugged. It was the same shit that I was just drugged with in the pancakes, the bacon, and the hash browns at the plaza, which is really crazy because just a lot of shit really fucking happens to me in this life, to the point where like it was just like I could write a book on trauma. I could write like 5 books on trauma, you guys, and I could be a millionaire off fucking Amazon for real if I fucking publish this shit. But anyways, I was in my apartment, and I just remember her being like, she said something about my ex-twin flame. I'm just going to call him my false twin because I don't feel like he acted from a masculine energy. He got overtaken by magic, and then he had a free will choice, and he let this other bitch win, and I literally was the mother of his children, and that was not reverence. Sorry, you guys. That was not reverence. That was not respect at all. To the point where, like, I used to just, like, put all of it on, you know, Natalia and his mother. I'm just going to call her D. I'm going to put, you know what I mean? Let's just call her Diane. We're just going to call her Diane. I don't even know. That's not her real name. I had to change the name for, like, legal purposes only with the video. But literally, Diane, she fucking, you know, she texted me in the apartment and she was like, she said something to me. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she said, and then she was like, delete this text. And I was so naive. And this was after she brought the bomb over. And she was like, I literally like deleted the text like an idiot because I was just so naive and she was manipulating me. So later on, if I had told him, I didn't have no fucking proof to show him. So I looked like the liar to the point where I remember I was pregnant because I did. When he got home from work, I told him, but I had deleted that text like a fucking idiot because she manipulated me to do that. And then later on when she was like, where's proof? And she did that shit on purpose. And then she had his dad on the phone and she would pull him into drama. And his dad knew how this woman was. I mean, he was married to her. He knew she was a compulsive liar, a compulsive cheater. And then she projected onto him. She was like, oh, Mac cheated on me all the time. And it was like, no, bitch, you're the one of infidelity. Like, literally. I remember that vision of the robe, that satin silk red, like dark red robe. It was like the color of this purse right here. It was like this. But like a little bit darker because it's like the sun is out. To where, this is cute, right? But anyways, freaking, she literally was like, she projected and mirrored all this fucking toxic shit that she did onto her ex-husband. And she knows what the fuck she did to him because when we went up to that funeral, she collapsed in front of the church and she made this huge drama. Like, you guys think that I am drama? No. She literally was like, oh, Mac, oh. And she literally fell into her husband's arms. Like, this is what she fucking did. To the point where I'm looking at her like I'm seeing through the bullshit, you know, because I'm so awakened and aware. And I'm just like, I know this woman because she literally tried to say that, like, he, you know, everything that he did or everything she did, he did, you know. So she like mirrored that onto him. And so like that pain was there. And so like when we went up to the and I said this in one of my other videos, when we went up to the to Georgia, to Atlanta for the funeral, because we drove up from like Sanford, Orlando, all the way to Georgia. Well, first we stopped at her old house in Palm Coast, okay? And her husband at the time, he was making a lot of money to the point where like he had this big nice house. It was like nicer than my daddy's house. Like it was like I think it was a 3-bedroom house though, but it was nice. It was in Palm Coast. It was so fucking nice. Which they don't have that house anymore. And it was new and it was nice and it was just beautiful. But we pulled up in front of that house. And I mean, I remember I walked into her, she was like nice, nasty. So like I walked into like her, I asked if I could use the bathroom and she walked me into her master bathroom. This woman had like Clinique, Lancome, like all of these, like, you know, you go to like Dillard's in the mall and you see all these nice things. Like you could see that this man is funding her lifestyle. Like I already knew why she was married to him. And then she had called me and been like, and she would switch in and out of her villain role. She would try to be my friend. Then she would go back to being nice, nasty. Then she would go back to being a cunt. To where like it was all over the place. And I was like, okay, this woman, no wonder why, like, you know, her son has a lot of problems because like, you know, she put all that venom in him throughout the years, as well as her daughter. So like her daughter from her first husband, this is his half sister. She was like, she took me and my first son into a rental car. We had to follow his stepdad, you know, her fifth husband, him and the girl. So they separated, his sister and his mom separated and divided our family to the point where like I already knew that they were trying to take him and my daughters like away because they did not like me. First of all, it was a race thing. My ex is mixed. He's Native American Indian, Irish, a teeny bit of German, and African American. So he's got like 4 things in him. But he's very like Everyone thought he was a Latin king. He called himself Carlos for a long time, which let's just call him Carlos because literally I'm not even supposed to use his name in the videos, okay? For a legal disclaimer. But he doesn't have Latin in him either. Like, just like I look Latina, I don't have, but everyone thought we were like this Latino couple, but we weren't. Because, you know, I'm mixed as well, but I don't have African American in me. I'm Asian, Italian, and Welsh. So that is what was on my ancestry DNA when I took it in 2022 in August or July. So basically, when I was riding up in the car with, you know, his sister, and we're just going to call her, okay, her name starts with a S, Susie. We're just going to call her Susie. When we were riding up with Susie, me and my first son, okay, who's an angel incarnate, my first son is, she had a zodiac book and it was down by my feet. I was on the passenger side. And she was just like, oh yeah, I want you to read this book. Are you into astrology? And I was just like, I mean, I read like a book before, like on just like a Cancer sign, but she was like, yeah, no, read the match between you and Carlos, you know, her brother, her half brother. To the point where like I read it and it was like very compounding, conflicting energy. Like, I've never read something so pessimistic and negative about two signs, which was another sign clearly that her and the mother, you know, Susie and Diane were trying to break us up. I mean, they had already like divided us. You guys, hold on. They had already like fucking divided us. You know what I mean? Like in the car to where like my son, you know, and you know, we were divided. We were fucking divided to the point where I was just like, okay. And then like we went up to Georgia and then she started telling me a story. Susie started telling me a story about how she was basically hiding in a marriage because at the time she was married to this Mexican guy who was also a really good provider, but she worked too. She didn't have children. So they both had careers. Like he was a car mechanic and she was like, she worked in like side by side by like the engineers in like airplane hangars or like, and she would travel for work. So she like her roads and career were open. But she told me, she was like, oh, did I ever tell you? And she like tried to like covertly like intimidate me. And she was like, did I ever tell you that I'm a witch? And I was like, what? And I just like looked over, right? Because this was at the time when like, you know, I was like in my maiden/mother phase. Like I was a mother, but I was like too young to be a mother because for me at 24, it was like my mentality was like a 17-year-old. I was young. You know, I wasn't ready for a baby yet. And I was just like, oh my God. To the point where like, you guys, like I literally like when I had a baby at 24, I literally felt like I was 18. I felt like I was having a baby at 18. I was not ready for the baby. I love my first son, but my ex before Carlos, I have an ex of pretty much a decade of my life. He got me pregnant on purpose and he did that to try to trap me with a baby, which it kind of backfired on him. This is at least what my sister says because now he's taking care of, you know, our first son, like, you know. So all I know is that when we were riding up, she was just like, and I'm gonna just do some of this really quick. Hang on, you guys. Where did I just put it? It's probably by the window. So yeah. So you want to just keep this burning because I feel so many forces at play. Like just. So she was just like, I'm a witch. So anything that I write down, you know, will come true. Da 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 da. And then she was a mess. She was a fucking mess to the point where like she was hiding in a marriage and she was really a lesbian and she was having like, just like her mother, just having all these side bitches, you know, just like her mom had all these side dudes on the sides of her fucking husband. It was a mess, okay? So like, and I was talking to my Uber driver the other day and my Uber driver was like, it sounds like you dodged a bullet. And I'm really glad that I didn't marry him because I did fucking dodge a huge bullet because like, it was just so dramatic. Like, you guys, you don't understand like how dramatic his mom and his sister were. Like if I would have married him, like I would be in hell right now. Like I would literally, like I would be trapped at home with the kids. They would be like abusing their power over me. You know what I mean? I would just be miserable. Like I wouldn't be able to go for walks when I want to. I wouldn't be able to be free and just fucking like express myself and do videos. They would call me the witch, but they did witchcraft. You know what I mean? To the point where it's like they tried to mirror it onto me because this is how Susie and Diane are. So yeah, just a lot of bullshit. And then she also was like, you guys, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Just a little bit. To the point where you guys, I'm sorry, but today it kind of calls for a day of this right here. So just a little bit, because I've been getting spiritually attacked, and sometimes this takes the edge off. I need some ice. But to the point where, like, we rode up to Atlanta, right? And she was like, oh, I'm a witch, and everything that I write down comes true. And I'm like, what? And like, I was like, at this point, I think I was like, let me see. I think I was like 29 or 30. I think I was 30 at this point. But my mentality was like 24. Hang on, you guys. I have to change this. I'm so sorry. 2 seconds. Sorry, you guys. I had to put water in this. If you heard the door slam, that was my nephew, Nate Jacobs. So he's very much like Nate Jacobs. I don't know if you guys have seen Euphoria. It was like this huge thing. I've never even watched the series, but he's very toxic masculine like him. That's my lucky bamboo. Don't mind it. Got it out of your way. So like I swear. I've been trying to like break the cycles of these toxic karmics, because they will like, listen, and this is what he does, and he'll project negative energy while he blows his nose or like coughs and sneezes over everything, and he'll like fucking try to like, that's how he tries to break like fucking bad energy, dude. He's so reptilian, alpha draconian, like I can't with him. To the point where like, at this point I just laugh, but it's like really not funny, you guys. It's really just not funny, because like so much shit that I've taken in my life from these dark karmics, and how they've like come in and tried to like siphon my energy, or, and then this is what they'll do. So they'll come in and they'll try to siphon your energy. They'll try to take your good energy, and then they'll try to use your good energy to like rage bait you. And they'll try to use your good energy for their everyday like productivity, because they were not born with a source light or a god light. But anyways, besides the energy vampires, let's keep that over there. I'm talking about this group of witches who were secularly witchcrafting me, to the point where like his side of the family, and then parts of people in my family, there are karmics, very karmic connections, to where they were coming up against me and my divine masculine twin flame. And the reason why I do this is because this mother trucker literally like left our fucking kids for like, I don't even know, 7 years. He wasn't taking care of them. And it's like, okay, you could do shit to me all day, but when it comes to like my babies, my offspring, you better pray that you come out like okay, because I swear to the gods, I will fucking go to war on someone who tries to harm my babies. I will. And I'm using Florida water to clean this, because it was by the windowsill, and I'm gonna use it to cut cords. I don't know like what the fuck they did with this, because I left my house the past 2 days. This is my daddy's house, and he passed away, but like I left this house and I've been like walking a lot, and my doorknob is like super loose, to the point where like, and then my window was open, to where I know I closed my window last night when I left, and then when I came back my screen was popped out and it was open. My window was open, and I know I closed it and I locked it. I know I did. And the doorknob was like super loose. And then like my mother, she's taken a screwdriver and she's tried to get into my fucking room with a screwdriver. And I'm just like, dude, my mother is very mentally ill. I know I didn't tell you guys, like she's been, she's went undiagnosed for years, but she has shared delusional disorder with my sister. And my sister has burned my face and my mother had backed her. She watched it like a novella. And she literally just did whatever the fuck she did to me. So it was really fucked up. Just the attacks that I've had to endure in my life. So I'm going to take my sage stick and kind of put it over here up in this cauldron. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn this today. Because we're going to neutralize Natalia's attacks as well as the other karmics, because my nephew, I'm pretty sure he does witchcraft on me. I know he does. He's wished things on me. And it's just really toxic to the point where like I just can't anymore with these people. Like, and then they all started forming against me. It was so fucked up, like wishing me all this stuff. To where right now, and then do your intention. I set my intention to break the harm, break energy vampires, break any dark entities attached to them or dark entity attachments that they have sent for me to leave me. The curses, hexes, and jinxes leave me now. Any black magic casted over my life, my person, my spiritual self, my physical vessel, leave now. I break you. I break free from this 3 times 3 times 3. As I will, as someone would be. And this is why the sun comes out, because sun god Ra, he always illuminates the darkness to light. And this is like, he also is a deity that's helped me. I've had an Egyptian past life. I've had 2 Egyptian past lives, to the point where, jeez. And this is the thing. I keep getting really clumsy lately, and I know it's fucking their magic against me, and it's happening again. They like don't want me to get a job. They block me from job interviews. They don't want me to have a relationship. They don't want me to fucking use my psychology degree. They want to keep me playing small, so I'm constricted, so they can't pass off their loser energy that they project onto me. That's really them. And I'm so sick and tired of it, you guys. This is what they do. So I break all negative energy. I break curses, hexes, and jinxes, and spell work done over my love life, my career life. I break any curses, hexes, or jinxes, and any spiritual entities that were sent by my enemies and their black magic witchcraft. And I send it back 3 times 3 times 3 as I will let someone it be. I knew that was gonna happen, you guys. See, this is how I know that someone's casting on me. My cauldron just fell on my shoe, and I had a vision of this. But it was my old shoe that fucking... And that's another thing. It's been going haywire like this for like, I don't even know how long now. This is how I know the bitch is fucking casting on me, and I know that, like, I don't know, I just feel like my nephews are doing it too. I feel like they're fucking doing it. I feel like my nephews, both of them, are doing it. I feel like they're casting on me and wishing me ill will. And my mother and my sister are oblivious to this. They don't even realize it. To the point where, like, the other day, alcohol spilled on my bed, and it got all over my favorite shoes. To the point where today, that cauldron just fell. I'm the prime example of, like, they're throwing black magic on me. And it's not just one person. See? And then this just fell. And it's like, this is just all confirmation. I'm going to have to order some Kit de Maldición. And I'm going to have to fucking go walk to the post office and get a P.O. box so I could get it. Because my mother will not deliver it to me. She's also part of them, too. I gotta cut this line of energy for my nephew's projections to me because he gets really negative. Hey, Jacobs, bro. That toxic masculine. I need to get more of these now because they're like sticking together. I feel like sticky, like before it would flow. See? I don't know. Something really isn't right, and I could feel like when they like cast on me. I really can. So like I highly recommend you guys getting this. Like right now I'm going to put this on my foot. My mother just said something very negative to me, and she tried to spiritually attack me in the master bedroom because we share that bathroom. It's it's like a bathroom. It's like her master bedroom. My dad bought this house for us, so like he made sure we were taken care of. She knew to marry a provider man, even though my dad was like really fucking abusive. But she knew what she was doing. She's just like kind of like Diane, to the point where like she picked someone for a provider. She didn't necessarily pick him out of being in love with him. She saw a good future with him. Okay, so maybe that's where I should have, that's where I went wrong, which I fell in love, and I wasn't worried about like a future, which, okay, maybe I should have been, but you live and you fucking learn. Yeah, she always wanted me to marry like a doctor or a lawyer, just someone who could take care of me, and so, she didn't realize like the toxic people that she kept me around was going to play out and affect me profoundly the way that it did, to the point where it affected me very profoundly, to the point where like I ended up taking all of this into my my adulthood. Like all of the abuse that they projected onto me, because they projected a lot of fucking toxic energy on me, to the point where like my ex-brother-in-law, like he was a drug addict, and it like profoundly affected me, to the point where it still affects me till this day. Him and his sons, that they affect me, and then it's like they wish me harm. They wish me such bad ill will, to the point where like they've tried to like shut down my roads and my love life and my career and make me look like the loser. Like complete destiny swap. Sorry, I'm cleaning my smoky quartz so I could cut for you. Hell no, I just saw a fucking entity right here. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and this is another thing, a black magic, another sign. My spiritual sight, like, I've been seeing spirits lately, and I've been not hearing them, but I've been sensing them, like, always. I've had to go and get a red string. And how many knots are these, you guys? Do you know? I just had it earlier. Is it a 7 knot? Hold on, I want to count these knots. 8 knot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7 knot red string bracelet. So this, okay, it's good fortune, protection, and good luck. And also this right here, the sweetgrass, this helps with land spirits, to the point where like, what the hell? I just saw like 2 bird shadows flying over this cauldron of, there's just birds flying by. Because the dark karmic witch, she was projecting this raven to me for years, like, and it was like spying on me, like it was always like, and that's not my spirit animal usually, and then like there were like flocks of them flying over my head. Oh my god. And my ear is itchy, so like they must really be talking about me. Like I'm talking about my ex-twin flame, his mother, and his wife. And I could feel it. I could feel that they're talking. I could feel that they're fucking talking about me. And I'm having a vision of, oh wow. Okay, so I'm having a vision right now of his mother and him talking about me, and they think, wow, so she's got it twisted. So she did magic on like the whole situation. I'm talking about his fucking soon-to-be ex-wife. His soon-to-be ex-wife, or his ex-wife, Natalia. She has fucking literally, she got their perception so twisted, to the point where she's making them think that I'm doing spell work on their marriage. Fuck no. I have not done any fucking spell work on their marriage. I'm a psychic and I gather and pick up information. But I have not tried to spiritually harm anybody, okay? If anything, I just try to protect me, and I used to send it back. Now I just try to neutralize it, and I let Sun God Ra illuminate the darkness and illuminate the shadows and all the black magic, okay? So I just give it to Sun God Ra. That's what I do. So I'll be like, he'll shine his rays usually through my window. I'll be like, thank you, Sun God Ra, for illuminating the darkness. Thank you for taking all hexes, curses, and jinxes off of my spiritual vessel, my physical vessel. But right now, I don't know where the sun is. And I just went into the master bathroom, and it's like, my mother tried to do like this verbal attack on me. Say, thank you, Sun God Ra, illuminate this negative energy. And there's big ass vultures in the sky right now. And that's like an omen of like, okay, something is gonna happen. Like, it's not the greatest news. To the point where like, dude, I've gathered so much stuff in my spiritual gifts that like, my nephew is sick, you guys. I need to go get ice. Hold on, because I'm kind of like drinking right now. And then like what I like to do when I leave the room most of the time is cover my back. This is Andrea Bear. I don't know what brand that is, but cool. I don't really care about brands like that, but I like to cover my back because I don't want their spiritual attacks to hook onto me. So I'll be right back, you guys. I gotta go get some ice. Pour my little drinky drink in here. And so I have to keep everything in my room, you guys, to the point where it is so hot today. It's gonna feel like 92 degrees. I just know it. I don't have to hang my stuff up because I'm very organized, so. So yeah, Diane is talking to Carlos, and Natalia is manipulating Carlos into thinking that I'm, the dark karmic and the one doing spell work, and I'm just protecting myself. And since Diane knows that one time I picked up a Wiccan book and she knew that I went away from Catholicism for a long time and I had like a, spiritual shamanesque calling, she labeled me as witch. And then she got on the phone with my mother and then they were like talking about me and then they were just projecting all this stuff to where they were going back, she was telling her son, my divine masculine, to the point where I became the villain. Because, I got out of that Abrahamic cult construct of conditioning from Christianity to the point where, the different one always gets attacked. I don't go with the sheep. I don't go with the flock. We get attacked. Okay. This is just the way, unfortunately, it's set up to be. It's constructed like this to the point where everything is, a simulation of something. And I almost walked to Destination Parkway. I actually walked to Destination Parkway at the gas station last night. I didn't walk there, but like, I took an Uber to John Young, and then I walked from like John Young to Destination. I was trying to find this drink that I used to get over there after I found out they didn't have my eyeliner at Dollar Tree. And, my ex freaking mother-in-law, Diane, she's been talking about me to Carlos, my ex-twin flame. And then she'll talk secretly to Natalia, and then they'll plot even behind Carlos's back, and then they'll manipulate him to where, like, at this point, and I'm going to burn some Lluvia de Oro. So it's really this. That's what it really is. What do you guys think that I should do? Do you think that I should start making mukbangs and doing like personal story mukbangs? I mean, it's my channel. Would you guys watch it if I do mukbangs? I don't know. I might not do that shit. I really don't want to do mukbangs, but I used to. You guys like, oh, I still have my pomegranate drink from Panda Express that I got last night. So it's right here, you guys. And this right here, like, I thought it dripped on my skirt, but luckily it didn't. I'm gonna put ice in that because it's really good, but yeah, so Diane was going around to Susie, and then she swayed Susie for me and manipulated Susie for me to where, like, Susie was like, oh, I can, you know, write down anything and I'm a witch and everything I write down comes true. But then she got into a really bad fucking accident to the point where, like, she hurt her back. She fucked her back up really bad. So, like, all the witchcraft that she did to me and her brother fucking backfired on her, Susie. That's why I'm telling you guys, you need to be careful with what you cast out, because what you cast out will come back to you later. It will fucking always come the fuck back. And you guys, I got this really pretty skirt yesterday. Look at this. It's pink. Isn't this pretty? But it needs to be shorter. I'm thinking if I should, like, hem this and, like, cut it shorter. You know what I mean? Like, make it shorter. Or if I should just return this and get this skirt all in black for this. And then I got, I'm going to show you guys what I got. I got these soaps. Remember I told you in a previous video, I was like, oh, I forgot to get soaps. Well, I went yesterday and I got these. Because my ex-twin flame, after my daughters told me, like, what his ex-wife told them, I started getting pissed and I went shopping. Ooh, it smells good. This is called Pan Rosa. This is a rose soap. Ooh, it's an essential oil bar soap. Ooh, you guys. This is cheap. It was $1. It was $1. It wasn't even $1.50. Super cheap. Super affordable, I mean. That's what I mean when I say cheap. You guys. I love rose. This is like my fucking, this is my thing. It smells really good. Then I'm also going to smell the, I gotta save this in here now. I'm going to smell the, ooh. I'm going to smell this one right here. It smells good in this box. I know sometimes the boxes come in use, like, later on. So, like, I'm going to just kind of save these. Like, if I need to make, like, a holder for my camera and just say I need, like, another box to put it on, there's a box. And then I got peony, which I'm not sure what peony really smells like. Oh, they glued this on really good. They glued it on so good that it rips like this, so I'm not going to use this box. Leaves a soft, soothing, and gentle scent with each use of the bar soap. Peony I might not like. I might. So this reminds me of Sweet Pea. I don't know if you've been to Bath and Body Works. I haven't been there in like a decade or like 15 years. This reminds me of something that used to be scented called Sweet Pea. This soap, peony, must be in Sweet Pea. Okay, so this is another unboxing that I'm doing. So This is like an unboxing session versus like you know who would like this? My mother. I wonder if I should give it to her. She probably won't use it though, because every time I give her something, it just stays there. My mother doesn't like me a lot because of the things that my fucking, just certain family members said. Like my dad said about me, my brother-in-law said about me, other people. To the point where like she's kind of like manipulated against me. Like she really is. I told the truth, but she chose to stay in denial. But it's more than a denial, it's like an illness. Like a mental. To the point where like, I can't even. So you see this? So like the witches can project through stones like this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull negative energy out. How is this an hour and 5 minutes already? Okay, so I'm going to end the session and then I'm going to start a brand new session. I love you guys. Make a Cash App donation, subscribe, like, leave a positive comment. Please, all comments must be optimistic. I love you.